We are not above the environment, we are not above the ecology, we are the ecology. Unfortunately, we become a virulent part of the ecology. The soil is screaming, literally, and this is destroying the ecology. So, the dialogue that you've been practicing in cinema, it's time to make it a reality.
Shocking and it's very heartbreaking.
If you move 25 million people, I'll give you at least a 10 to 50-kilometer ride on the motorcycle.
Done. That sounds like a great deal.
Namaskaram, Rakul, how are you?
Namaskaram. How are you? Sadhguru, I have to tell you that, this is amazing what the entire foundation and you have started, awareness about the soil. And it is my pleasure to be talking to you about this and understanding more about it and, creating awareness in people. So to start, Sadhguru, I've always been a nature lover, an admirer of how the earth is and the mother nature is, but we never really thought of soil, right? That how do you think soil is central for balancing the ecology and restoring the damage that has been done to the environment?
See, Rakul, yourself, you are a young woman, you look very far away from soil. But tell me, your body, what is it made of? The food that you eat. Where did the food that you eat come from? Most people these days think it comes from the store. No,
Yeah.
it's from the soil.
Yeah.
Where do the trees come from? From the soil. Where the crop come from the soil. Everything, whether you are a worm or an insect or a bird or an animal or a tree or a human being, essentially you are a product of soil. To put it simply, we are small pop-ups and we will pop back into the soil at some point.
Right.
So, we are all just soil in recycle. Because we are carbon life, today unfortunately, the social media and other areas, and there are people who, who do read school textbooks and think they are scientists, all those people have made the word carbon like an ugly word. If you say carbon, they think some noxious something. No, carbon is the basis of our life. You and me are carbon life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Carbon is the basis of who we are. So there is something called as a carbon cycle, which is always happening. In this, soil is the most significant aspect. That is where the carbon should be. Right now, everybody talking about air pollution and this and that, what it means is, the carbon that should have been in the soil is floating up as carbon dioxide or monoxide or whatever. It should be in the soil. If it's in the soil, it's super productive. But it's somewhere else where it causes damage to you. That is what needs to change. How can we miss out the soil? People keep asking me this question, Sadhguru, how did you know all this? How did you become an environmentalist? I think being an environmentalist is a very vulgar thing to do because we are not above the environment, we are not above the ecology, we are the ecology.
True.
We are ecology, isn't it? Unfortunately, we think we are removed from ecology and we are going to take care of ecology. No, no. We are ecology, we are one part of the ecology. Unfortunately, we become a virulent part of the ecology. It is very important that we become little more benign ecology.
Yeah.
So, I'm not an ecologist, I'm not a scientist. I'm like a worm. I've crawled on this earth, so I feel this earth and I know how it is.
Yeah.
I've lived on this planet for 6.5 decades. Hey, I shouldn't have revealed my age to you.
You are like you're born today, Sadhguru. I don't think anybody can match up to your energy levels.
When I say I've lived on this planet, people say, we also live on this planet. No, that is the problem. Most people don't live on the planet, they're living in their own heads. Their own thoughts and emotions have become a cosmos by itself, have become a universe by itself. They don't live on this planet. If you live on this planet, like a worm, you're crawling actually. See, if you ever went up in a hot air balloon and looked at people, they all look like worms crawling on the earth, all right? We are all worms crawling on the earth, it's just a question of perspective. So, if you really crawled on the earth, you would know whether the earth is rich or is it hurt, is it in a pain or is it screaming. I can see wherever I walk, the planet or the soil is screaming, literally.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
like if we peel off our skin and go stand in the sun, how it'll feel. That's what we have done to the soil. Everything that is surface, we peel it off, we plowed it open and leave it open to the sun. This is killing the soil
Yeah.
and this is destroying the ecology. First 12 to 15 inches of soil is the source of life for 87% of life on this planet, including us.
Wow.
Just
Wow.
15 inches, can you beat this? And this is the greatest magic in the universe, not in the solar system, in the entire universe. These 15 inches or 20 inches of soil is the most magical thing because if you sow death here, it sprouts life with great robustness. There is no other place in the universe where you can throw death and it'll bring back life to you. Right now, somebody was advertising a week ago, it was in the news, that if you pay $1.7 million, see, if you want this, you can start making the money for that. $1.7 million if you pay, they will… when you're dead, they'll take your body and leave it in the space. So, in space, your body will not deteriorate because there's no oxygen and there are no microbial life. So, in the same condition as you died, it'll be floating all over the place for millions of years. So, they're offering this as a business. I'm saying, if you did not do anything eco-friendly in your life, at least when you die, put it back from where it came, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is the simplest contribution make is this, that what you have taken, at least you put it back. So, soil is the key, soil is the basis of everything. Especially in a tropical country, our rivers flow because of soil. We don't have any mountains here with ice caps or snow caps that it is melting and coming down to us. Only
Right.
from Himalayas a little bit is coming, that accounts only for 4% of our river water. Rest is all monsoon water which comes down in 70 to 100 days. That water, soil should have the capacity to hold and let it flow for a whole 365 days.
Yeah.
But once there is no organic content, that is not possible. So this effort is just to change the policy in the country and in the world.
Yeah, you're actually so right, Sadhguru, because the number of barren lands in the country has completely increased. The fertility of land has gone for a toss, and we don't have, and then we are using more fertilizers and things like that to create the crop that we are consuming, you know?
62% of India's land is degraded.
Wow.
62% of India's land has organic content less than 0.5%. This is on the verge of desertification. This is desert. If people don't understand what I'm saying, you take a plane from Delhi to Chennai, every 5 minutes look out, you will see a brown desert. Except for Western Ghats and northeastern part of the country, the whole country looks like a desert. That's what we have done to this land, one of the most fertile lands in the world, where 12 months in a year you can grow crops. This is what we have done in the last 40 to 50 years. We have farmed for over 12,000 years, but we managed our soil because we consider our soil as our mother, you know? In Tamil Nadu, we call it Thai Mannu, everywhere else there is some reference to soil as mother. So we nurtured her. But in the last 50 years, we've gotten so modern, we somehow think we can be born without a mother.
I was just gonna say, coming from films, you know, we have grown up listening to these dialogues in films, which I think everybody who's watching this interview will be able to connect to. Dharti Ma, ye dharti ne mujhe paida kiya hai, you know, all those heavy dialogues. But unfortunately, I think it's just been limited to dialogues. And I feel, and you tell me, Sadhguru, how will we be able to create this personal emotion in the masses, in the people, to consider it their own? What do we need to do for them to do?
We just have to extend the dialogue from the cinema to the society. That this should become the dialogue in the society. So this is what I'm trying to do. From March 21st, when I'm riding across these 26 countries, 100 days, huh? 30,000 kilometers, 26 nations, these 100 days, the whole world should talk about soil. Can you engage 10 million people and make them talk about soil every day? Something, 2 minutes, talk about soil, say save soil. Because when you live in a democratic country, your voice is very important. We have a way of aggregating these numbers in the social media. If we move 3 to 3.5 billion people, No nation in the world will ignore this, no government in the world will ignore this, no political party in the world will ignore this. They have to take note of it. 3.5 billion means 60% of the world's electorate. If 60% of the electorate speaks, tell me which politician or political party will ignore that. So, the dialogue that you've been practicing in cinema, it's time to make it a reality that we make this dialogue a part of our society.
So, besides the dialogue, of course, creating awareness is the first step of letting people know that this is a problem. But what do you see as a solution? Say, as a layman, if I have to tell someone that, when we talk about water, we say save water, don't have running water in your taps, and give them small little examples. So, what can they do at a personal level in each household to protect the soil?
See, this is always the thing. First thing is we must decide in our life, are we doing things for our personal satisfaction or are we trying to create a solution? If you are trying to do this for a personal satisfaction, you can take a small patch of land and put some your vegetable waste, you can compost it and put it there and be very happy about it. I'm not saying that is not important, that is also important, your garden also should be rich. But how many people have a garden in the country, first of all? Okay?
Big problem, yeah.
So, the most important thing right now is to get this into the policy. Why this is most important is, let us say you have 100 acres, you are doing a great job of keeping your soil in great condition. But the next generation may ruin it once again. That's what we have done as a generation, all right? In the previous generations, the land was beautiful. Now in just 30-40 years we have done this. Even if you keep it well for your generation, what is the guarantee next generation will keep it well? So this is why it must enter the policy. Otherwise, as I gave you the housing example, this is what is happening, people will cause damage. So there must be a law. If you own agricultural land, 3 to 6% minimum organic content should be there because soil is not our property. Soil is a legacy we received from previous generations. We must pass it this way to future generations because every responsible scientist in the world is clearly saying by 2045, we will be producing 40% less food and our populations will be over 9 billion, 9.2, 9.3 billion, that will be the range. Is this a world you want to live in?
No.
All thousands of years of civilization will be washed up if there is 3 days of food shortage. Let's say you're in Mumbai, 50% of the people, if they don't have food to eat for 3 days, you think you can live there? Is it a possibility?
No.
I'm at this stage of my life, all I have to do is die 10 years early, that's all. I'm okay. So this is not about me, this is not my movement, this is not this or that. This is our planet. If we don't act now, it'll be a life of regret later on. So it's our fundamental responsibility, we are in a cusp of time where we can turn it around. If we let this go for another 30-40 years, it'll be very difficult to turn it around. Right now it's possible because I know you're very concerned about health and nutrition and the type of food that you eat. See, right now for United States, I'm taking United States because there are more studies there than anywhere else.
Right.
Like for example, the vegetables in United States, how much nutrition they had in early 20th century and how much nutrition they have now, if you look at it, it's gone down by 90%.
It's all
90.
genetically modified. It's all GMO, based food.
No, you can call it whatever, there's no nourishment, that's all.
Yeah.
In 1920, if you ate 1 orange, today you will have to eat 8 oranges to get the same stuff into your body. Have you ever eaten 8 oranges in a day?
Never.
Is it even a possibility, I'm asking? It's crazy. So this is what we have done to our food. This is because there are no nutrients. Right now we've gone through this pandemic. See, any doctor, you don't need a great expert in virology or something, any simple doctor can tell you that if you lack vitamin A, vitamin D, C, B6, B12, folate, iron, magnesium, zinc in your diets or in your body, you will be very susceptible to respiratory tract infections. Anybody can tell you. Right now, vitamin E is 90% deficient in most Americans, okay?
Yeah.
Most Americans are 90% deficient in vitamin E, 43% deficient in vitamin C, 40% in calcium, like this it goes on.
And I
So
think many
no,
in vitamin D also. People's immunities have gone all over the place.
all things, I'm not going into all the alphabets, I'm just telling you a few things.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
now, the richest nation in the world is reaching towards 1 million deaths with quarter our population. This tells you clearly when soil doesn't have the necessary nutrients in it, this is what happens to the world, this is what happens to people. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how much wealth you have, how much comforts you have, it's not going to work because life is not coming from your air conditioning. Life is not coming from your refrigerator, life is coming from the soil. Keeping it rich and well is a fundamental thing. We have to take care of this. These 100 days, all of you who are in the movie industry, not just you must ignite everybody, that everybody should speak about soil for 100 days. Leave this hi-bye stuff and say save soil wherever you meet people, because this is important. As a generation, we need to do this now.
Yeah, when you are saying it, Sadhguru, with the statistics and the way we are heading towards complete depletion, it is shocking and it's very heartbreaking. And I assure you that everyone around me will be hearing the same thing about saving soil because it's very important. I think it's high time. Otherwise, it's going to be irreversible, like you said. So,
If you… I'm
yeah,
sorry, if you move 10 million people, Rakul, I'll give you a 100-kilometer ride, how's that?
done. I have
On the
18 million
motorcycle.
on my 18 million on my Instagram, and I think I'm going to scream out.
Oh, I lost it, I should have raised the number, oh my God, I didn't
So
know
I
that
think
number.
I'm going to tell each one of them, please, please, please save soil because it's need of the hour. And then we could play a round of golf, maybe.
Okay, we
Yeah.
can definitely play a round of golf. I'm offering this to various people. If they move… if you already have 18, if you move 25 million people, I'll give you at least a 10 to 50-kilometer ride on the motorcycle.
Done. Done. That sounds like a great deal. So, last question, Sadhguru, before we wrap. I want to know that in today's the age of social digital space, social media, and of course we know that social media has its good and bad. But how do you think through social media, because we spoke about million of followers, how do you think we can motivate people, because these are not the people who are going to be able to change policies. So how do you think social media will come into play? What can we all do? What is the role that it will play?
See, these are all the people who can change policy. You said they cannot, they are the people who change policy. Because in a democratic nation, it doesn't matter who you are. Because you're a star, do you have 10 votes or only 1 vote?
Sorry?
Because you are a film star, do you have 10 votes or only 1 vote?
One vote.
Only 1 vote. And the man who attends… sees your cinema also has only 1 vote. So when it comes to democracy, this is the thing. Nobody should think they are too small. Everybody has a vote, everybody has a voice. And the beautiful thing today is where social media is a tremendous tool. People are complaining about it because of their own compulsive usage of that. But I'm telling you, this is the first time in the history of humanity that we can sit here and talk to the entire world. Many great beings have come in this world. When they spoke, hardly 10 people heard, all right? This is the first time we can talk to the world. When we have such tools and technologies, at this time, if we do not transform the world, it simply means that we don't care enough. That's all it means.
Yeah. I think the entire selfish attitude that I have lived and I don't care about the future generations needs to go away, and a sense of responsibility, being citizens of the planet, needs to step in. And I'm very hopeful that this will happen, Sadhguru. This is a great initiative, and I would really be very happy to be of any sort of help for the same.
So, Rakul, about this, see, every human being is… when it comes to contribution, they think they are small. But you
Right.
look at it in their personal life, when they have to get something, they are very big people, all right?
Right.
So let them understand that every human being has a thing. Nobody is asking you what is your stature, who you are you rich, are you famous? You have a voice and you have a vote. Think of this as a global vote and make sure you vote by enhancing the message. 100 days, every day, 5 to 10 minutes. We are putting out, toolkits for people, how to start a Twitter account, how to start an Instagram account, how to start a Facebook account, how to enhance the message. Go through this for 10 minutes and you will know. You download those apps and every day spend 10 minutes for the future of your life and your children's life. When we say future, it is not far away future, we are not talking about 2 generations later. Every UN agency, I've been talking to all the UN heads, we have a very strong partnership with some of the UN agencies like UNCCD and World Food Programme. I was talking to the leaders of these organizations, they are saying they're expecting dozens of civil wars across the world by 2035.
Wow.
Because once there is food shortage, there will be fights, there will be riots, there will be wars within the countries.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is not where we should push our country or the world, for that matter. So let's make it happen.
We will make it happen, Sadhguru. And as you were talking about these 100 days, it just struck me, and maybe the organization foundation can, help that maybe through these 100 days, whenever there is through your journey, an important landmark day of reaching out to people, maybe I could be connected and do a live, give that information on those important key days, so that there's a dialogue personally on the social media from my end also happening for those 100 days.
That's great. And anyway, whenever you're willing, whenever you have the needed thing to do it, when you feel like it, even when I'm riding on the motorcycle, I can broadcast both video and audio. It's all equipped like that. So
Great.
if you come on for 2-3 minutes, that chat could be interesting for people who follow you. And we want to raise your Instagram to 25 million so that you get a ride with me.
Absolutely. So I am going to do that.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful talking to you. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Namaskaram. Thank you.
Namaskaram.